everybody. Welcome to Build Brunch, the daily morning show where we talk about the latest topics in pop culture. I'm Brittany Jones-Cooper.
I'm Shannon Coffey.
I'm Allie Colbert.
I'm Lucas Tim. Hi, everyone.
Hi, guys.
Today we're going to talk about the tight-knit bond between poop friends, a mom bod PSA from former Bachelor contestant Becca Martinez, and the newest viral meme crossing your news feeds. Plus, Broadway star Stephanie Hsu stops by to discuss Be More Chill.
Yeah.
But first,
actor Chris Evans is on the cover of the latest issue of The Hollywood Reporter. The Avengers Endgame star opens up in a profile he jokes is his last cover interview about retirement rumors, being single, weed, and more.
And so much more.
So much.
I love that in the first paragraph, they describe that his arms are as thick as thighs.
yes. Yeah.
I was like, that paints an image. It's so funny.
What I love this article, which actually made me really like him a lot more, is that he grew up not being an athletic guy at all, doing sports but not liking it, really loving musical theater, and his mentality now as someone who, you know, really resisted the Avengers and that kind of fame and money, and now looking towards, you know, being a director and like a writer and more of the art. I really actually respect him a lot more after reading this.
That is interesting because he is the definition of masculinity for probably so many people. And I think it's important for him to express like, no, I love the arts and the expression that came from that. And I like that he's sort of like saying that it doesn't always come in a package, you know?
Yeah, I couldn't believe he turned down the Avengers offer twice. And then finally they somehow roped him into doing it. But it really sounded like he said, you know, each time I turned down that offer, I woke up the next day and I felt good.
He went into therapy when he finally said yes.
I know, I thought that was great that taking this role made him go into therapy for the first time in his life, and it has helped him so much because I didn't know this, but he's a very anxious guy. And even Robert Downey Jr. was saying that like he has like the worst anxiety, and like sometimes we'll just be like laughing and he's like a really fun guy, but you're like, wait, are you also just laughing because you're very anxious?
Yeah, I have such a hard time imagining hot people as anxious people, but it's true, it's real.
Like, what are you anxious about? You're hot.
I know, but it's hard for some of us. And no, but seriously, he's so beautiful that I was just like, what are you anxious about? You are a white, ripped man. Like, you have the world, like, you know what I mean?
You're Captain America.
You're
Like,
Captain
literally,
America.
he made 15 mil off the last two Avengers.
Yeah.
I mean, that is awesome.
The first movie he made 300,000, right?
Yeah,
Right,
300. Oh, only 300 grand.
Man, that's nothing.
Starting from nothing, now you're at the top. Chris
But he's
Evans.
the one who dated Jenny Slate, right?
Yeah.
He
And
is
this
the
helps
one
me.
who dated Jenny Slate.
This helps me understand that relationship so much more because I didn't know much about him, and he seems very kind of like white bread, kind of, you know.
Kind of like your type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His arms are as thick as thighs. I just
That's all. Brittany's gonna be thinking about that tonight. That's all she needs to get through
You love
today.
cornbread fuckers.
I do love cornbread, but I'm not like sort of, I think Jenny Slate is really cool. And so I was always confused with like how they fit together.
Yeah.
But reading this, I can see that he is like really kind of progressive and open.
Yeah, he's like, I really like his personality. Like, if I was just basing him off of looks, I probably wouldn't like masturbate to him. But it's really his personality and his Twitter presence and all the cool stuff that he does that like makes me be like, yeah, I'm hand jamming to that tonight.
Well, what makes him really attractive to me, what makes me think about it later.
Wait, hand jamming?
Hand jamming.
Is that just first time I'm hearing that?
Yeah, it's when you jam your hands into your
Oh, no, I get it. I get what it means.
Oh.
Yeah, I get what it means. Like, did you make that up or is that a thing?
I don't know, man. I'm not even here right now.
I'm just saying we should trademark that shit.
Yeah,
It was
I've never heard that, but I feel like
Really?
it's a Shannon Coffey original.
Lucas was like, I've never heard that, but I do it nightly.
I do.
Yeah, but that is a good way to describe what I do.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know. I thought I came up with getting dicked up. Is that a thing out there?
I've heard of getting dicked down.
Yeah, but I think
I
people
have
should call
heard
it
neither,
dicked up.
but I'm in a different community.
Well,
Please.
what I like about this piece and what I like about Chris Evans, he's very political and very upfront about it on Twitter. And I think a lot of movie stars are afraid to do that because of losing money. And he flat out says, I would feel so nasty about having that feeling.
Yeah.
And what he's actually doing, he's been on the Hill meeting with senators and congressmen about starting a new, it's called a Starting Point. It's gonna be a political website to help start a group, a movement of like-minded, progressive thinkers of how to address politics. I think that's really awesome.
I think that's really awesome.
Yeah. I do have to say, he didn't sound all too fun in the interview. He sounds kind of like a neurotic, sort of really in his head.
Very self-deprecating.
Kind of boring guy.
Maybe needy.
Like, he said often that, in relationships, he doesn't want someone to, and I get this. He was like, I don't want someone to, just attach themselves to my life, which I feel. But he kept repeating it, and he said one of his favorite things to do is go camping alone.
Yeah.
That's a red flag.
That's a little sociopathic.
No,
is it?
I think alone time is so important.
Camping alone is the work of a serial killer.
I don't
It's so
agree.
relaxing, though.
Camping
I
being
have to
out,
lean
like-
towards Allie. This maybe a split the checks moment.
the check.
Oh, split the check. I think
Because
it's very...
what are you
on, Jill.
what are you doing alone? What are you
Camping
happening?
alone.
Connecting with Earth.
And with yourself.
Or you're
Yeah,
burying a body. You're
have
burying
to
something.
know yourself
What about a
intimately,
spa
and that
weekend alone?
requires being alone with your thoughts,
Yeah.
having time to really process.
I guess. I don't even not like it necessarily.
Yeah.
I just know that I personally wouldn't do it. And I don't judge him for doing it. I just think it makes him a
Called
certain
him
kind
a
of
serial killer.
But
Yeah.
to be
No, I
fair,
mean,
Also,
I
burying
don't.
a body is more of a friend activity.
That's
It's not
totally-
something you should ever do alone.
It's too hard
a
alone.
lot of work, emotionally tasking. It's scary. When you have a friend there with you,
Yeah.
all good.
And to be fair, I don't camp.
Yeah.
So who
Yeah,
are we kidding?
we're
Who are
not
we
talking
kidding
about-
here?
Lucas is like, I'm not gonna voluntarily downgrade my
Yeah.
standard
Yeah.
of living.
I certainly don't
No.
camp either. But guys, thinking of, speaking of activities you can share with your friends, one is pooping. Did you guys know that? No? Well, the Twitterverse believes it's time to wipe away the stigma of poop friends, AKA someone you can talk about your number twos with. According to tweets, people believe that poop friends are not just limited to one individual and that some have even married their poop friend.
Wow.
Wow. Sometimes when I think poop friend, I think of somebody molding together a tiny human made out of their actual poop. And then I was like, oh, poop friends are just people you talk to about your poop. That's
Yeah.
everyone. That's
So,
like everyone.
That would be a sign of a serial killer. Somebody made a poop friend.
Probably.
I mean,
That's a red flag.
I was
Yeah.
just I don't know
I
that
mean-
serial killer, more just a really sad person.
Split the check. Split the check. I think Feces deserves a chance.
But this is so funny. I exclusively have friends I can talk about poop with because what's the point of having friends if you can't talk about your BMs?
And speaking of sort of like poop friends, I totally get what you're saying. It's actually kind of interesting when like you take that first leap and try to turn a normal friend into a poop friend. And I have to say, Lucas and I have been trying to kind of move our friendship into a
little
poop
bit.
friend direction, but it's been kind of hard.
Because I resist it. Because I'm not like, you have to learn something. When I was, up until I was 10 years old, I can only poop once a day at a certain time in a certain toilet in my
I
house.
heard about this.
I had a lot of poop
The
issues.
black toilet?
The black toilet. It was just, it was.
It sounds like we're already poop friends.
Yeah, already kind of. So for me,
That's more
like,
than I knew.
It took years in my relationship with my ex-girlfriend to get to a point where we could like walk
too,
into the
though.
bathroom after like something happened in there and laugh about
You
it.
can't even say it.
Yeah,
I
Gotta
like
light that
too.
candle. We gotta have to light when you light that candle.
I'm so afraid to talk about
So,
poop. I
yeah.
feel the exact same. I would never talk about it with my
When some of my
significant
friends
other.
talk about it, my
Wow.
gross friends, I'm like, ew, 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 and I like fall.
Really makes me uncomfortable.
I swear to God, I just went on a trip with my 3 best friends from college, and all we do is talk about poop. And I think it's like a sign of love because you're like checking in. It's like, oh, have you gone yet? Yeah, I went this morning. Oh, lucky you. Ooh, I have these pills that could help. Like, we care about each other's health so much that it's like, if my
Yeah.
friend's not pooping, I'm gonna help her get there. Because like, that's how much I love her.
I
you
feel
know?
Yeah.
such shame whenever I poop. You have no idea.
I feel so
Like-
bad for
Me
people
too.
like
It's
you.
like I'm glad like it happens, like I feel better, but wow, do I like the monk in the Da Vinci Code. I'm just like this is just not good. Like I am on again leaving the toilet. being like,
Shame.
don't look at me.
Shame.
Like
Shame.
Cersei Lannister me, walk me down with the
I'm
nun.
embarrassed
Like
too.
that is how I feel whenever I poop. It's a problem. I'll talk to my therapist about it tomorrow. Believe me, we'll address it.
I'll take it to the next level. As someone with IBS,
Fair.
and some other people on this couch have some stomach issues. Won't name names.
I do, which is why I appreciate pooping.
But I often have to go when I'm in public,
Yeah.
which can be sort of risky and scary.
Fair.
And I don't want to stink up an office bathroom.
Oh, I
feel
never poop at work. Are you kidding me?
That's
oh, never.
because
We
you
got
have the
poopery.
privilege.
Right.
I don't
We have poopery.
No, you guys,
Game change.
our life has changed. So the bathroom that most of us use is always blown out. Like it is fucking blown out by like 11 a.m. You can't go in there until Aiko got poopery for us.
Thank you, Aiko.
Thank you so much, Aiko. I thank her like twice a day. I'm just like, listen, you really took a hit for us. You went out and bought that.
It's a game
and
changer.
I'll never
It is a
forget.
game
I'll never
changer.
forget. I'll never forget. On my deathbed, I'm gonna be like, thank you, Aiko. It's so good.
She really saved our lives.
Just because it's a lot when you go in and the air is thick and you're just taking in those poop particles and you're like, oh, I swallowed a turd.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It feels like you're dying.
Yeah, it's so
It feels
bad.
like
That's what I'm
death.
saying, but like, doesn't that bring you shame? Don't you then want to not talk about it?
Shame.
It's normal. I'm the one that runs out
poops.
and says like, who fucking blew up the bathroom and didn't use the spray? Be accountable. No shame, but be accountable. Be responsible, you know?
And also, I have to say, we have privilege here because we work in a space where we don't go into a bathroom where there's stalls.
Right.
We have private bathrooms. Like, that's really lucky.
That's
In
very
lots
nice.
of offices, there's stalls, and what you have to do is you have to sit in a stall and kind of stake out in that stall, waiting for no one to come in until you can poop in privacy.
I'm against this. I'm so against this.
You go, then I'll go.
Listen, if someone was spreading ass in the middle of a studio, fucking pooping, that's wrong. But bathrooms are literally designed to take shits in. So why are we secretly being like, I don't want anyone to hear me rip ass? It's like, it's fine. This room was designed for that. Just use it. You're being weird by being like, I'm gonna hold it in. This is a silent, pretty room. It's not a pretty room, okay? It is not. It's a toilet. That's where you're supposed to poop. It's okay. It's fine. Chill out.
Okay.
It's a bathroom.
I will say there's a strategy. I don't love pooping in a bathroom where there's a lot of stalls, but you have to plan it, guys.
Yeah.
You have to let it brew.
You can't plan
You
it
have
when
to
you
let
have
it
Crohn's.
brew. You have to wait till it's just
I don't
about
wanna
to
do
come
that
out,
with
and
you.
then you go to the bathroom. So you go and you flush and poop at the same time, and it's flawless.
Flush and poop, flush and
Yeah,
poop.
courtesy
Yeah.
flushing
Always.
is great.
Oh my God.
Always.
Are you kidding me? The
Don't let it sit.
second it comes out, flush.
One-
That thing, I was like, flush. It is gone. It is gone. I don't see
Yeah.
it. I don't think about
You
it.
gotta look at it first.
No.
I like
Oh.
looking at it. I like looking at it. I
It
love
comes
looking
out.
at
You
it.
gotta look at your poop
Yes.
first. How else do you know that you're healthy?
No.
Yes.
You-
You
that's
want
the
to
thing
check the
about
blood,
I
people.
pray to God I'm good. I mean, honestly, seriously.
Wow.
Can't be.
No, you gotta check for blood. As someone who's always constipated, I'm always, like, for me, that's why I'm not ashamed of pooping, because if I poop, I'm like, oh my God, I did it. Like, I'm like a sloth. I poop like once a week. Seriously. So it's an amazing event for me where I get down the tree and I'm like, and then it comes out, and if everything has gone good, there's no blood. But sometimes I look down and I'm like, ah! Because, you know, it's hard, it's dry, and the booty hole has a rippet.
When can you first start talking about poop with your significant other?
Day one, first date, I'm like, yo, whoa, what's that stool looking like?
Oh
You
my
know?
God. A year.
Look, so first sleepover is when you have to
definite.
address it.
Oh
First
my God.
sleepover.
Are you kidding? First sleepover? I didn't know my girlfriend pooped for like 2 years in our
No,
relationship.
because I don't want that. Look, sometimes you gotta
first
poop.
sleepover,
No,
the first
I'm
Yeah,
saying-
haven't you ever been like, oh my God, this poop is crazy, and be like, hey, come in here. And,
No.
like, I have made so many of my friends look at my poop. I've looked at my friend's poop. My friend made a poop that looked like exactly like the Twin Towers, I swear. And we took a moment and we were like, this is beautiful. Like, never forget. Never forget. It was beautiful.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was.
I think that's good.
On that note, never forget.
Never forget.
Never
always
forget
remember.
anyone. Always.
It's a true
remember.
story.
It is, and I believe in you, and I believe in it.
Yeah.
And thank you for sharing.
That's why you should look. You never know what art is
You know
sitting
what?
in the bowl.
I'll open my mind to now looking. You never know what I can find.
Woo!
Former Bachelor contestant Becca Martinez has taken to Instagram to defend mom bods. The reality star posted a picture with a caption encouraging people to embrace the fact that not all mom bods look the same, and every shape and size is worth celebrating. I love this. I don't really know Becca very well, because I only watch The Bachelor, but when the whole dad bods thing came out, what really bugged me, it was really like, let's have a fun way of making the patriarchy more powerful, in the sense that like, everybody should be embraced. But let's celebrate dad bods, essentially men not taking care of themselves particularly, whatever, just not caring, working out. But let's still force women, who are mothers of 3, mothers of 1, not mothers at all, to look like models until they're 63. So I like this because it's like, it's just, everyone should be able to look any way they want.
Agreed.
And I just feel like that wasn't being enforced when we were just celebrating dad bods.
I agree.
Yes.
And there's just that insane pressure for women to bounce back after a baby, which is so horrible if you think about it. They've literally just created the biggest miracle in life that we know of, and we expect them to be back to a size 3 within 2 weeks, and it's just so unrealistic. So we have seen more women since Instagram has gotten bigger, posting their post-baby bodies authentically weeks after pregnancy, still looking pregnant because it takes time for the swelling to go down. And I do think that's important for the culture, and I do think it's changed the conversation.
I think so, absolutely. And I also think, though, that even though everyone is beautiful, I don't think everyone is healthy. And I feel like sometimes on the internet, a lot of these subjects get conflated.
Right.
And one of the things I'm most attracted to is self-care and people who are interested in making themselves the best, healthiest version of themselves. And sometimes this dialogue turns into something that I'm like, okay, this is different than that.
Yeah, but it's, when you talk about health, health doesn't look the same on everyone. It definitely doesn't look the same on every body. Sometimes you have friends who are technically a size 0 and, they look great in clothing, but they're not healthy. They're not eating well, they're malnourished, and then you have people who maybe weigh way more and they are fit and they can run, a marathon. So I think it is complicated. It's not as easy to say a size or a weight or anything like that. And I think that's why these conversations are important. I just think Becca's so cool for doing this. I'm shocked. I think I personally stereotype people who are on reality TV,
Me too.
and specifically The Bachelor, as being very
Vapid.
Vapid, totally. And when I saw this, was so shocked and excited because I checked out her feed and she's got photos where she's sharing full-blown inflamed acne on her face and just being so real that I was taken aback. I was like, I can't believe this reality TV star is being so authentic.
I agree. I actually watched her on The Bachelor, and she did have this streak of realness, but she kind of played the game a little bit, and she was always done. So it has been cool to see the real Becca in her social media and her kind of expressing who she really is, because I think you do get caught up when you're on a reality show and you're not able to show your most authentic self. I think they make you kind of dress up and wear more makeup than you normally
That's why it's a blessing seeing Denise Richards on Beverly Hills Housewives.
Denise?
Denise, right? Yeah.
You were like, Denise.
Denise. But it's when they're in the Bahamas or whatever, all the women show up dressed to the 9 to breakfast, and she's in sweatpants.
Oh, was she?
Yeah.
I love that.
She's like, I thought we were just going to breakfast. What's up? But
I love it.
Of course, Housewives, we want to watch their lifestyles, but it is kind of refreshing to see a woman who's like, this is normal for me, which is being casual, no makeup, showing up to breakfast.
1,000%. And someone who, I don't know if we talked about it on the show, but who's killing it on social in doing this is Lena Headey.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she was just at Bill doing an interview for My Family, a movie about her family. But she is she'll take a close-up video. Her face is broken out. It's a rough angle. And she's just leave me alone. And she's so cool and it's so empowering. And it just makes me feel like this woman who's so hot and on my television all the time looks like this, I should feel more comfortable looking like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And our bodies should be not up for a discussion, really.
Right.
I don't understand why they are. I guess I was just sexualizing Chris Evans' arms, but they wrote about it, so that's on
Brittany, thickest thighs. Thickest thighs.
Thick as thighs.
Never forget that.
Never forget. Never forget. I'm gonna give the poop again. Another day, another meme. You were at my wedding, Denise, has taken over the internet after The View's Meghan McCain's posted a viral clapback to Twitter user Denise McAllister. Denise took to Twitter to bash the co-host of the ABC talk show, allegedly forgetting that her so-called friend Meghan McCain was one of her followers. This was a hilarious moment on social when she just called out. So this woman, Denise, wrote I can't believe these women on The View are so stupid. And
She called them mental midgets.
Mindless
Yeah, I didn't want to say that.
Which is, I have a bigger issue with her using that word. I thought we canceled that word. We're not using it. What's wrong with you?
I know,
Nobody called her out for that. I'm like, geez, I don't care what wedding you were at. It's little person.
Well, if she was at Meghan McCain's wedding, she may be someone who's not as progressive with their vocabulary, just assuming.
Wow.
Meghan McCain, Meghan McCain,
Meghan McCain's
sometimes I really like her. Interviewing Khazir Khan, the Golden Star father, who has been outspoken Donald Trump. I think she's been, sometimes on Twitter very outspoken and great. I think sometimes she's incredibly divisive and anti-progressive, and I don't. Yeah, if you saw her, if you just watch Stacey Abrams give her one of these and completely clap back at her when she tries to say that Democrats are mad about the Mueller report. Just Stacey Abrams, God bless, and That's all I'll say.
You've been thinking about that all morning.
I have. She watched me watch the whole interview.
Wait, back to this Meghan McCain, you were at my wedding, Denise thing. When she replied with that clapback, the woman then replied being like, she kind of backpedaled and she was like, well, not you. Like, hats off to you. You're doing a great job dealing with everyone. And then she followed up again and she was like, I'm gonna make t-shirts that say you were at my wedding, Denise, and it got like 100 likes, and someone replied like, you just killed the joke.
Yeah.
Right.
I know.
Really
and the
funny.
joke was funny. Like, people were posting like really great memes of like, from like a fortune cookie saying you're my wedding, Denise, to like Trump yelling at the lawnmower kid, like yelling at him. So, I mean, it's really funny.
I'm gonna definitely use it. I mean, I think if my friend doesn't want to talk about poop, I'll be like, you were at my wedding, Denise. We should be able to talk about poop.
Yeah.
As real friends.
Alana Harkin, who writes and is on the Full Frontal with Samantha Bee, tweeted it. She's gonna leave every room saying, "You were at my wedding, Denise," just for fun. Like, I think it is.
It is such a Meghan McCain thing to do, though. Like, God bless her. She's just so whiny.
She's so.
I mean, she's constantly saying inflammatory things on this show. That's her role. That's why they hired her. She does a great job.
Like, she believes America's not racist at all.
Right, but then when she gets like weirdly defended, offended by things, it's like, well, Meghan, you spew so much vile. Like, just let this go.
When she said she hated Hillary Clinton with a passion, then Hillary Clinton ends up like retweeting like this interview, and she's like, "Oh, hey, Secretary Clinton, what's up?" And like,
She also said that now Meghan said, "I now use this clapback for everything," and like that's really annoying to me. Like, you used it once, it was good. Now, like, I can imagine Meghan everywhere being like, "You were at my wedding, you were at my wedding," and everyone's just like, "Shut up."
Do you like me now?
But what I do love about her, she loves Real Housewives. Yeah. That is really funny.
Wow.
She's like she's always on Watch Happens Live with Andy Cohen, and like she like loves Erica Jane, who's going to be on our show next week if you guys care about Housewives.
April 5th.
Little
Excited
teaser.
if you want to tune in for that.
Yeah.
Well, guys, now it's time for today's guest. Stephanie Hsu is a Broadway actress who's currently starring in Be More Chill, a show that the New York Times calls one of the most popular new musicals in America. Everyone, please give a warm Bill Brunch welcome to Stephanie Hsu.
Hi. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, how are you?
Hello.
I love shaking hands. Love it. Give it back to
I love that energetic walkout. It makes me want to go see you in the show even more.
I felt like Ellen DeGeneres.
You want to like dance out even more?
Yes.
Yeah, get off the couch. I want to see some couch dancing.
Hey.
that was a good twerk.
You guys really excited me. You gave me a lot of space.
And this show is so exciting. I've read so many positive things about it. So what has that been like for you to be in this experience that has been so well received?
It's been really crazy. For you guys who don't know, we did the show in 2012 in New Jersey, and then it sort of like went away, and then we recorded a cast album, and it like resurrected from the negative space and became like an internet sensation. So it's been the weirdest, most random trajectory for a Broadway show, but it's been really special in that regard too.
Yeah, I think that trajectory is what probably makes it so special.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that like we have such a huge fan base from all over the world for people who just knew it because of the album. So it's been wild.
And for those who are unfamiliar, what is sort of the plot of Be More Chill?
So Be More Chill is the story of a high school teenager named Jeremy here who is a little bit of a nobody. And he just wants some help to just like make high school a little bit easier to get by. And he's in love with this girl named Christine. And she's a weirdo. And he finds out about a pill called a squip that's from Japan that implants in your brain and tells you what to do. And so he decides to take this pill, and you sort of see the ways in which it does make his life easier, but maybe at a cost,
Yeah. And can you tell us a little bit more about what it's like playing Christine?
Yeah, Christine Canigula, so one of her most well-known songs is I Love Play Rehearsal. So she's like a huge theater nerd, and she's a weird bird. And it's so fun to be in her shoes because our director gave us so much space to play. And so really it feels like every night there's just space to kind of do what I did on the couch just now, but like on stage.
Yeah.
And it's just so fun. Yeah, she really brings a lot of joy into my life.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Do you see any of yourself in her? Do you feel like you personally relate to her in any way?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where when you do something for 3 years, you're like, have I always been this character, or have I become more of this character?
Right.
But I definitely really am loving theater a lot these days.
Yeah.
And also I think her sense of humor definitely is in line with my own, just because when you originate a role, so much of it comes from your own self. You know?
Absolutely. And you've mentioned that you've been with the show since its inception. So
Yeah.
what has it been like to watch it grow over the years?
Yeah, it's just been well, the thing that I really appreciated about it is it really has given me understanding of the value of a rough draft. So you do it once and you're like, oh, that was fun. And then you're like, oh, I get to do it again. Like, let me dive deeper. And then you do it a third time and you're like, now I get to do this other weird thing that I didn't even think of in the first round. So it's just been really nice to get to continue to sink our teeth in and change the show as the years go by, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that. A lot of people are always striving for perfection. I feel like that's a really good note of just like enjoy that process.
Yeah.
People forget to do that.
Well, and also I think what's been really special about it is that the audience base, as it's grown, has also taught us about what's so special about the show. And 2019 is a different time than 2015, 2014.
Those are the days.
Those were the hashtag days.
Hashtag the days.
Yeah, the days.
Hashtag yes we can.
Yeah. So, you know, I think the beautiful thing about theater is, or any sort of art, is like, if you're gonna be making art, then if the times are changing, you must like shift with it. And so, you know, we told this story however many years ago, but it's a different moment, and our place on Broadway means something else.
Yeah.
And it's a really like our fan base is like super diverse, super queer, super beautiful unicorns, like diverse in race, gender, everything, you know. And so it's like, we see you and we're here and we know we like get it, you know, and so that's a great offering.
That's great.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
it was such a chill vibe. I'm just like, we could do this forever.
It's a cozy space.
Yeah.
It is.
And you made your debut on Broadway as Karen the Computer,
Yeah.
and from SpongeBob SquarePants
Yeah.
musical. So what was that like?
That was also super random. Where like
Are you yourself like a computer?
Yes, I know much information. I live under a rock. I'm not a computer at all. But Karen the Computer was really crazy also because Broadway really wasn't on my radar, and I got tossed into the first ever reading of it in 2012 when Viacom was like, maybe this will be a musical, and I stayed with it ever since. So I never like auditioned for it or anything, and it was like 5 years of development, and then I was gonna move to LA and, you know, start a farm, and I got a phone call that was like, so SpongeBob's going to Broadway. I was like, okay, I guess the farm will wait.
So did you never have dreams to be a Broadway star? You kind of just like fell into this?
You know, like, I definitely listened to some Broadway stuff when I was in high school. I started theater relatively late comparatively to most people.
What was your musical theater jam back in high school?
I was V into the last 5 years.
Oh my God.
Lots of feelings.
I love the last 5 years. So sad.
So sad.
Wow.
And I remember there's like a line that's like, meet the dinosaurs, and I was like, the dinosaurs. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely also really love spelling bee, but
Oh my gosh, me too.
yeah. But it was kind of like Broadway wasn't really on my radar because I knew I was never a Miss Saigon type, so it was like, I didn't really know my space in Broadway. And then even when I moved to New York, I was doing a lot of experimental theater, and I did a lot of stuff in comedy. And so that sort of seemed like my trajectory, and Broadway just seemed like this far away place. So now that I've, you know, done it 2 years in a row, it's been a huge gift because I actually think Broadway is like an incredible, incredible practice just to do 8 shows a week, but also the shows that we bring to Broadway are the shows that then they do all over the country. So it's like very important actually that the shows we do in Broadway are like super diverse, super inclusive, and stories that we want to be telling, because those are the stories that everyone is doing all over the country, you know?
Yeah.
That's a good, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
I know. I love everything you're saying.
Well, and besides Broadway, you've acted in TV shows and films.
Yeah.
I seen you in Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, one of my favorite comedies. How does it compare? Well, you just kind of mentioned before, because Broadway's 8 days a week, but like, how does the acting differ from TV to Broadway?
Yeah, I mean, I think it definitely depends on the show, but I think with TV, what is like both wonderful and difficult about it, it is so much hurry up and wait, you know? It's like, you get there at 5, someone's like painting your face, and it's like, oh, this is nice. And then you wait for like 3 hours, and then they run behind, so then you eat lunch, but you're still in like full face, and you haven't gone on yet.
Yeah.
But then you go.
Right.
But I really love the balance of both theater, when I get to do both theater and television, because there's something that's refreshing about the newness of TV, of like, it's just this moment, maybe a few times, versus the practice of like keeping something fresh that's like, you do it 8 times a week for however long, you know?
Well, we have a little game we want to play with you, and basically it's, would you stay chill or lose your, control?
Okay.
So we're gonna present some scenarios for you, and you just tell us honestly how you'd react.
Okay.
Okay, up first.
Okay.
An audience member phone rings during a performance.
I think
You Patty LuPone it? You're gonna say
I think I would just start talking a little loud like that.
That makes
Cool.
sense.
So like a lukewarm.
lukewarm, passive aggressive.
Yeah.
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 But we all know what that means.
A little passive.
Another cast member forgets their line on stage.
I think I would break. I would lose my cool. Like
You really would?
I have
Wow.
a horrible tendency of giggling a lot. I'm like the first one to break if someone like has a booger in their nose, which has happened.
feel
You
like
don't
you're
have
saying
one.
You were like, if someone had in their nose.
I just start giggling. So I would lose my cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, what about if Beyonce and Jay-Z are front row and they're staring you down?
I would be freaking out. Actually, Blue Ivy came to SpongeBob and had the hottest bouncer I've ever seen. Bouncer slash babysitter, such a handsome man. And we were all like, hi, and she was like this tall. But yeah, Beyonce and Jay-Z in the front row of Be More Chill, how random. I would just be spying on them the entire time.
What about curtain call and an audience member holds up a political sign?
Is it a positive political sign or is it a not positive political?
It's not good.
Oh, I probably do a little bit of, I bow, hey you, put it down.
Okay.
Thank you.
Incorporated into the.
Yes, with a gesture of love.
That's very
Because
sweet.
we're all
That is
gonna
sweet.
try to get through this together.
But what if that same person was filming the show?
I think I also would do a talk a little bit louder, but like try to integrate it.
Yeah, I think it's so crazy when people do that stuff. By the way, it's like, keep your phone down.
There's a lot of people who like to do like a,
Right.
Yeah.
The quality can't be that good.
Like, we can see you.
Right.
yeah, you're holding a phone and your hoodie's like a little, a little bit
Everyone
on.
has a hoodie.
Yeah.
And finally, were you chill or did you lose your cool when you found out that Be More Chill was going to go to Broadway?
I definitely lost my cool. I fell to my knees and cried. Yeah, so.
That's a special moment, and obviously it's been a long road, so I'm happy that the world is getting to see this show. Stephanie, thank you so much for joining
thanks
us.
for having me.
And if you want to see the show, head to BeMoreChillMusical.com for more information. That's all from us. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same table.